Welcome to Knuckle Town.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your f***ing cloud, it be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now.
Welcome to Knuckle Town.
A slow burn like a seed. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Knuckle Town presents the KO Show with your boy Big Face, man. As always, bringing you the latest and greatest from the bare knuckle and combat sports world. And it's been very busy as of late, so we got plenty to get to. Lots of it to talk about, lots of fights to talk about. But most importantly tonight, we are joined by a legend in the combat sport game. My man, the CEO of Global Combat Collective, once again, BKFC's own Nelson Lopez Jr. Welcome to the show, Lolo. How you doing, brother?
Hey, what it do? Man, y'all don't let me sleep, man. Y'all don't even let me get home and get rest. I was just telling my people on live that I'm sorry I forgot to tell everybody I was on the podcast. But what's going on, Face?
Hey, what's up, man? So yeah, as you just alluded to, man, you ain't even slept. You just touched down from LA. What'd you do? Try to sleep on the plane? I mean, how was fight night LA last night for you?
Hey man, it was really it's always good fights, you know, because the way we kind of set up the fights is we don't set up bad fights. We don't just give away fights. So everyone knows they're coming to fight. Everyone knows they're coming to a challenge. But the reason why they do come to fight is because they also know that when they come lay it all down, you know, and leave it all in the ring, they're coming back, win, lose, or draw. You saw Ruben sat in there 5 rounds and got hit and did never back up. You know, like he still wanted to win. And you got to respect that. You got to just bring him back. Bovar knew he could sit there and bang with him. You know, he knew he had to stay on because in the first round he tried, he got clipped. He said, you know what, let me not sit here and bang with this guy because this is what he wants. And he had a perfect game plan and he just stayed away and boxed from the outside beautifully. So
yeah, he got on his bicycle, but Ruben Ward lived up to his name. 5-round war again.
Yeah.
Once again.
Yeah. 100% warrior. Like he didn't lose a gain of respect from me or anybody that watched the fight. As a matter of fact, I think he gained a lot more respect. I think he gained a lot more fans, and I think just the class act of showing who he was right after the fight, giving props to Bovar, giving props, you know, and accepting the loss was a real classy move for him, and I'm glad that he presented himself that way. That gained him a lot of respect as well.
I agree. And what you said earlier, the matchmaking, once again, BKFC, they excel at the matchmaking. Great fights all night. You had some bangers, you had some long fights, you had some explosive knockouts, especially in the heavyweight division. I mean, once again, you just had an interesting, fast-paced card, and that's the beauty of that sport, of this sport. And talk about that. I mean, you've been involved in the resurgence of this sport, man. It's growing fast.
Yeah, look, bare knuckle is raw. It's authentic. It's the roots of combat sports. You know, it's what everybody wants to see, you know. And I know that there's a plus, there's an advantage and disadvantage of how gruesome it is. There's an advantage that at the end of the day, everyone is really wanting to see that. And that's what attracts everyone. That keeps everybody on their toes. That when a punch lands, they're waiting to see if the guy's gonna leak or the girl's gonna leak. Like, it's just that's our human nature of saying, was he damaged or not? And at the same time, sometimes that same optic of the sport kind of holds people back from making a household sport. But either way, we're proving that it is a safer sport. It is something that does have longevity in it, and we're proving that it's the most exciting fight. At the end of the day, this is entertainment. You know, how much can we entertain? How long we can maintain everyone entertained? You know, as soon as a movie gets boring, you fall asleep. You know, as soon as the show, you know, the intermission comes in, sometimes you want to go back to your room. And with bare knuckle, it's more like give me more. At the end of the night, you would like to see 5 more fights, and that's really that's really the goal of what we want to do. So, you know, there's other sports that there's a lot of development in building a fighter, and sometimes during that development, it gets maybe boring, or we kind of know who's going to win. In this sport, we don't know who's going to win. Even if you're trying to develop someone, a punch in this sport changes everything. So you have to be an excellent developer if you want to really build.
Well, absolutely, and we'll come back and circle around to the bare knuckle. But you said it yourself. You know, you're involved in a lot in the combat sports world, right? So let's talk a little bit about the boxing, right? You have a boxing background. You came from a boxing background, and while a lot of people inside the sport, like myself and other insiders, know who Nelson Lopez Jr. is, talk to people about how you got into because I mean, you're a promoter, you're a matchmaker, you're a manager. How did you come from the fight side to that side of the sport? We seem to have some technical difficulty there. We're trying to get my man Lolo back while he is off. How many of y'all saw the fantastic fights last night at BKFC Fight Night LA, man? It was crazy. I mean, it was, as always, man, it did not fail to capture your imagination. You had wars, as he said, Ruben War, man, straight up 5 rounds, just getting pummeled, man, just coming forward. Dude was on his bicycle, hitting from the outside. What up, my man Rex? It's good to see you, bro, and I hope to see you at the next fight. My guy Levi, what's up, man? How y'all doing out there in Montana? Glad to see everybody here as we are efforting to get my man Nelson Lopez Jr. back. We have tonight talking with Lolo about his involvement in just everything combat sports, man. Such an important figure in what we all love, not only the bare knuckle, but the boxing, the female boxing, the mixed, coming up with new sports and new niches, new ways to entertain. And I just want to talk about his philosophy of how he handles his business, because I've had the privilege of being around him the last few months and seeing the way he moves. And I definitely want to talk about the prospect amateurs, which is him growing the youth of the sport. So Matt, man, we got anything on getting Lolo back, or?
Not yet, man. I dumped him out because he froze up, and just hoping he's popping back in. So,
all right, no doubt. Well, I mean, we open it up to. First of all, I want to say what's up to everybody that's listening, man, and if anybody has any comments about last night, I'd be loving to talk about that, man. The heavyweight, there was some crazy knockouts and some crazy just period brawls, and also, man, I seen a little bit of I don't know if we'll talk about this, but I seen on the internet between Kai and Ruben, they're going back and forth, having a little bit of escalation there of some we might see some, you know, everybody wants to talk about Kai right now because Kai's hot and Kai's winning and he can't seem to be stopped. He's taking the world by storm out there. Shout out to Kai Stewart. My man, you cannot bet against the king, Kai. I will not bet against that man again until he loses.
You had to kind of eat crow a little bit on
I learned my lesson all the way up through El Gallo. I learned my lesson after that. That was it. I learned my lesson, and that's it. The champ. You got to beat the champ. What up, man? What up, man? How you doing? DJ Tony, man. What's up, brother? How you been, man? So let's talk a little bit about why he's off about this Mike Tyson, Jake Paul debacle. First of all, if you bet on that, man, you must be crazier than a mother. I hear people talking about, man, they suing him. You know, of course, there's a lawsuit. Lawsuit for what? I did what you should have done, man. I made me some food, had some drinks at the house, and I was entertained. The Taylor Serrano fight was fucking amazing. Probably one of the best fights of the year. Oh, there he is. Way, we're glad to get you back. You had me on my bicycle, Lo.
I don't know what happened.
No, you froze up, so he had to duff you off because I guess he said you froze up. But back to what we were saying, I was about to ask you about bare knuckle box, the prospect amateurs, man. your involvement of bringing the youth in, and you've got a great crew of young fighters.
Right.
And you see a very importance in that, right? In taking care of the young fighters, not only showing them the right way to do it, but making sure the sport's taken care of in the future, right?
I mean, you know,
yeah, we losing you again there. And I really want to get Lolo to talk about this, man, because I see the relationship he has with these young fighters. It's amazing. The dudes love him. He takes care of them. Nobody takes care of the fighters like these guys. And that's one of the things I want to talk about. But we'll try to get him back again. Hey, message him.
I don't know. I have good.
Oh, there you go. That's cool. All right.
It's super important, man, because you don't want to depend on another promotion or another sport to market or to build the superstar of your sport, right? Like, and you know, that's what a lot of people do. That's what people do. I mean, you have to in the beginning. You have to go get that UFC star. You have to go get that famous boxer. You have to go get that football player. You know,
Absolutely.
You know, just how you bring awareness to it. But at the end of the day, you want to. The great story is, yeah, I boxed, but off rip when I finished boxing, I saw this. I did prospect amateurs. I sparred with MMA gloves. I learned how to grapple. I learned how to wrestle. I learned how to be dirty in the ring. I learned this. Then I did prospect amateur for 10 fights, and I'm a cold-blooded, from the gutter, just grassroots bare knuckle fighter, and that's what I've been doing for all my life. And it came through this, and then you build an authentic, real bare knuckle fighter that doesn't know anything else but that.
Well, that's the era we're in right now, Lolo, right? I mean, you guys have spent years building the brand of BKFC and making it stand out with production value that is out of this world. You had the big name stars from the crossovers, the Mike Perrys of this world, the Thiago Alvez's, and on and on and on. But now you do have homegrown stars that are catching on their own, right?
Yeah. And you know, because home is Florida, not because, you know, I'm biased to Florida. I love to do what's being the development of the fighters in Florida. I love to do that in California. I love to do it in Montana and Newton, you know, Albuquerque and New Mexico. Everywhere we land, I would love to do that, you know. But in Florida, I've had a little bit more access to marketing, a little more access to promotions and gyms, a little more access to getting more content. You know, I was so involved in that part that, you know, the venue, the connections here allowed me to develop those fighters and those characters a lot easier, you know. And those are the names that you remember in BKFC. You remember the Gallos and the HDs and the Matt Russos, the Garcias, and the G the Cutmans. Yes. You know, you remember those names because those are the names that we've been throwing in their face since day one, and we've been showing them who they are little by little. And just the access of being here and being able to do that, you know, has developed those characters and that market, that product. And that product can be done and repeated and duplicated in all the states just the same way.
And you guys have done the fantastic. You mentioned a lot of the hotbeds of that, Albuquerque, the Montanas, and now as you go in Northeast into Philly and Connecticut and New England. So, I mean, you guys have grown the sport exponentially. And and so let's talk about Global Combat Collective. You are a part of that. You have a strong team there, a family-oriented team. You guys are doing big things in sports. Recently, you had the record-breaking female fight night, Hit Like a Girl, Fight Like a Champion, in partnership with Lux Studios and Birx TV. Talk to people about that. So, I mean, a lot of people have seen it. Lots of people seen it, and I mean, it's just a huge night. You broke the record for the largest purse, I believe, in a championship sanctioned fight. Correct?
Yeah, it was the largest purse bid. You know, purse bids are usually set up where fighters you know, they don't agree to something a promoter offers, and then it goes to a purse bid. And usually the fighters get the shorter end of the stick when it comes to a purse bid, just because it gets divided up into two fighters. But we were really fair and really.
It's like arbitration for fighters, though, right? It's like salary arbitration.
Yeah, exactly the same way. And you know, at the end of the day, the employees don't the salaries that when it goes to that, they don't get what they want,
Right. Right.
and it works out for the employer, right?
Yes.
And so during usually on a purse bid, it really turns out better for the promoter. They get the employees a little cheaper, and they have a little negotiating power to lock them in on a better deal. Like, hey, I'll pay you this much because I won the bid for this, and I mean, I don't have to pay you more than that, but I will if you sign a couple more years with me. You know, so it doesn't really work to the fighter's advantage. And really, that was more of a to show everyone that maybe there are some good promoters out there that are willing to put what they feel the value of the fighter really is. And I went out and bid 3 times more than the big names of boxing didn't bid. Little old me and Global Combat and the team, we bid a bigger purse has ever been bid in the history of WBC purse bids. So
well, and you didn't stop there either. You had 9 amazing fights. I mean, you had some great young female fighters. I mean, super exciting fights. You did it in a 360 immersive environment for the first time ever. I mean, the whole night. I mean, just and just the momentum of that, and that's what I'm talking about. And I saw you on the internet. Your presence is getting so strong on the internet, especially with the young fighters. And I just feel this. I don't know, man. I feel this energy about you with the young fighters. They love you, man. When they talk about you, they love you. You look out like nobody's business. You are a fighter first. And I know you're in a position where you're not in this just, I know you do this for you and your family, your great father, but you do this to change people's lives. And talk about that a little bit for our audience, man.
I mean, you know, I get the business side. I do understand the business side. You know, I do understand the advantages of applying your marketing and your marketing dollars and your time towards the more popular fighters and the people on the main event. I get that. I understand that. I also understand that the impact that you can make on just interviewing a prospect amateur that has 2 amateur fights and inspiration that can bring. That wow, people, bro, you know me, face. People come up to me and they're like, you're Nelson. I'm like,
Right.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, bro, you know, I'll invite that same person to my house to come eat, eat dinner.
But you bring the best out of you brought some great stories out of these young prospects, though, man.
Yeah,
I watched it and I'm like, wow, man.
I mean, they have we all have face. You got a story. You know, I put you on the podcast and I'm about to pull something out of you too.
There we go.
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
You got a story. Everyone has a story. That's what people got to remember, that they got to remember that the fight is just the final part of what you see. And you only see that fight. Like, you know what you got to do in 5 rounds to really capture the entire world.
Wow.
Entire the world, to know who Rodney Hinton is, or who Chango Romero is, or who you Alice Govea. Like, you know what you got to do in 3 rounds in an amateur fight to capture the world. But if you sit there and tell your story of, I've never seen my parents, and I've been raised in a home all my life.
I mean, Rodney Hinton, man, saying he was eating out the garbage cans, man. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Like, how do you not relate to someone like that that is trying to go after a dream? Like, I think that the sponsors of the world and the business people of the world that have excessive, opportunities to help, I think that's who I'm targeting. Help these guys. Help them do something. They'll appreciate it. It's just more fulfilling to me to see a Rodney Hinton, fighting and winning or losing or just competing, or seeing a progress in his career, than some of the bigger names, because they're there already. Like it's like, with Alicia, I did everything. That's it. I've come to what am I going to do now? Latch on to her and try to, like, I don't know. I put her in the biggest stages. I've got her the biggest amount of money. I did that last fight for her. You know, there for her last fight with Matchroom.
Well,
Now
and
she's
your first fight you promoted was the Caribe Royale for 21, right? You
Right.
Bradford Baumgartner.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean that was Marshall. I was one of her co-promoters. But this fight is like got her as a free agent. Now she's like, let's see what she can bring to the table. You know, like I want to go to the next 10 girls that were on the undercard.
They
'Cause
were fantastic.
I want to see
That
progress.
Simon chick, oh man, just
Yeah.
amazing fighters. The Marine, oh man, just some amazing
Yeah.
fighters.
Yeah, Yvonne Flores,
Yes.
Isabella Vasquez, Nicole Schaefer,
Great fighters.
Maripova, Rosalinda Rodriguez, Samantha Guinness. Like Samantha's the one that had the knockout.
That's right. Yep.
Amazing. You know, like I want to move with them. It's like when someone comes to the gym and they're overweight. I'm like, oh, you about to see some real results.
Wait a minute, Samantha Guinness, wasn't she like 18 or 9? I mean, very young too, right? Am I wrong or right?
That was Yvonne. Samantha.
Oh yeah, Yvonne. Yeah, that's right.
But Samantha had the only knockout of the night, and that girl, you know,
and
like,
she knocked out a tough bare knuckle fighter. You know, a chick that could fight. You know, take a punch.
Yeah, for sure. She was 2-0. But yeah, like I like working with young talent because
it shows.
It shows. You can see instantly that there's progress and it motivates them. Like it sparks something in them. Like, oh man, I just got my debut on the undercard of this, on this immersive work. Like that's it. Their goals are set on a level where like they know they can reach that.
Well, being able to watch you work, man, you like to say this all the time. I hear you say this all the time from Muck City, from the Muck City, from the Muck, you know, and you see your network is there. I mean, you have a solid network of people around you who you've been dealing with for a long time, who you have a track record of, you know, they're good, you're winning with them. But so, I mean, that's important. The network is important.
Yeah.
I want to ask you something now. We haven't talked. I'd be mad. Everybody be mad. My audience be mad. I got you here. You're an executive. I have to ask you. Well, a lot of people talking about this, you know, not necessarily Mike Perry, man. What's the situation with Mike Perry and the BKFC? We see he had his dirty boxing event. I know you had.
I've seen that.
So, I mean, what is the situation there, Lo?
You know, I'm not. He has another fight with BKFC, and he was allowed to take. I mean, he was allowed to take a fight outside of BKFC too. So, no,
right.
no. I think that the dirty boxing thing was a little bit of a surprise. You know, I didn't know much about it. I didn't know it was going to come out. So I think that kind of caught everybody by surprise. I think that was more of the punch in the face than the fighting. Jake,
yeah. I don't think they care about the fighting. I think they cared that he had the spotlight of the world when he was fighting Paul, and he chose to announce that. I think that kind of stung.
I mean, you know, like at the end of the day, that's his business. That's his. You know, like how can you be mad at someone that wants to also have a promotional company? You know, like
I mean, yeah, you cannot. You
can't be mad. Like he wants to run his own thing. He feels like he can, and maybe he can, and maybe he can't. I mean, Jay-Z thought he could have a promotional company. Rock Nation, where's that at? And he had all the money in the world and all the connections in the world. Guess who else? A very successful businessman, 50 Cent, had a boxing promotional company. He signed Gamboa. And he thought he could do it. He had all the money, all the marketing for this and all that. And where's that at? No, I mean, I love 50. I love his business strategy, but it's very few people that can really, really build a promotional company, a real marketing machine, and can put it on a level of success and really make money out of it. It's a very, very hard business is combat sports.
I mean, it's the only business that people flame out faster is the record business. You see promotionals everywhere, local, regional, you know, statewide. But you guys, 54 events, 55 events this year.
Yeah.
Talk about the strenuous schedule you're living up to right now. I don't know how you guys do it, man.
Well, I mean, you got to strike when the iron's hot. And, you know, if you got a 9mm and I got a Uzi, I'm winning.
9 times out of 10.
All right, so we the Uzi, and everybody else just bloop, 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 bloop.
Stop shooting that little shit. Stop shooting that little shit.
So it's like you gotta put it out there. Like people want it, right? And it ain't even enough.
No,
I
it's not. They're
promise
begging
you,
for
I
it.
didn't even know. I can do 12 shows by myself in Florida. I can do 12 pros and 12 amateurs a year in Florida by myself. There's areas here that we haven't even hit yet. I'm like, please let me loose.
I mean, it's like 3 or 4 events in Florida in December alone between all other, you know, between BKFC, BYB, Global Combat. I mean, there's so many events. I mean, big events that are going to do numbers. It shows you the growing slice of the pie. Like you said, a lot of maybe people, maybe it's holding off. The violence sometimes will keep the door closed a little bit, but I think it's opening. I think the ceiling of the mainstream of it.
Yeah.
Because you guys are running a very safe, super safe organ. I mean, they stopped the fight, man. Even sometimes a little bit borderline, maybe too soon. I think it's definitely handled well. I believe. You know,
I mean, look, when you're watching it live, like when you're watching it live, I want to stop the fight sometimes.
Yeah,
there was a stoppage yesterday. It was Keith Richardson. He was going against what was this kid's name? Anyway, it was brutal. It was a 205, and Keith just stood up and fought. I'm sorry, I don't know his name. I'm drawing a blank.
I had it right here too, so I don't know. I had it too. I'm drawing.
Like I said, oh my goodness, it's gonna go out one more round. I looked at Dave. I said, can we kind of? I don't think it's safe. And the referee just looked. I think I called the Lord to tell the referee. He grabbed Keith and took him to the doctor, and they stopped. And I was like, that's a great stoppage.
And that's tough, man, especially for a warrior like Keith. And for his last 2 fights, man, he's had some very dangerous fights, man. You know?
Yeah, but no. Listen, we're taking our precautions. You have to. You got to take our precautions.
It's super safe, man. It's as safe as
we're under the microscope.
Oh, right. They're waiting for something bad to happen, right? They're expecting it, right? But then when they see it, I think that a lot of times when you go into places like we're going to see when we go into Philly here, and I know that Dave has worked really hard to get in his hometown of Philly. Now we're going to have Knuckle Mania in Philly. That was announced last week, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to be scrutinizing. You're going to see. I mean, they're on it when you go to a new place, right? The doctors are jumping in, waiting to see if something bad happened, right?
Right. I think he has full support now. You know, it's kind of like who you have in office. You know, depending on who you have in office depends how much leverage you're gonna get or how much under the microscope you be. But I think now he's good.
So you guys are legal in what 29
like
now?
Like 29 states.
So you think it's more of a now just whenever you decide to go somewhere you can get it legal there? Or is it still we can't go certain places because they're just not going to let us fight there? What do you think is when you decide?
Honestly, it's a little bit of there's still politics in it, and there's still a little bit of there's strategy in it. You know, like we didn't go to California until it was like we needed to, or we didn't get approved until they find out that we probably should. You know,
well, now you're blowing up out there. I mean, you've had 3 or 4 events in the last 8 months, right?
Yeah. We're coming back in January. I'm doing January right before Knucklemania. So
the crowd looked fantastic. I was in Knucklemania. It was great. The crowd last night looked really good. Was it packed out there?
Small. Yeah, it was small. Yeah, it was packed. It was a small venue, 2,000 seats, but it was packed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what you want. You want the high energy.
Yeah. So people know the brand. They're coming.
What did you Lolo? I mean, with your background and your matchmaking background, that's another thing. You guys are great matchmakers. I've been in your events. You have fantastic matchmaking. Okay. What do you think about what was the Mike Tyson Paul event? How did you feel about that event?
You gotta put yourself in a position of what's the ultimate goal here, right? And a lot of people you get the hardcore boxer that just hates Jake Paul, hates him because
everything he stands for is anti-boxing.
Yeah, you hate him because he's using one of our legends, and he's blah 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 blah. And I'm a hardcore boxer, but I separate myself and say, okay, why?
And you have relationships with a lot of legendary boxers.
Yeah. I mean, so just because I've been in that space for all my life, my father was in that space and passed it down to me and all my family. So I've been in that space. There's a lot of legendary fighters that I can just call up because they're like I'm a little brother or a big brother or whatever.
And everybody I know on the East Coast that I meet in boxing, oh yeah, that's my man. I mean, it doesn't matter who it is. Anyway, Washington D.C., Boston, North Carolina.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a small world. Boxing world is a small world. That's why when you mess up or you do something shady or nasty or slimy, everybody know.
yeah,
The one thing you're
yeah.
not gonna find on me is that. I
Correct.
challenge anyone.
You squeaky
to find-
clean, man. You squeaky clean.
I challenge anyone to find
So,
something dirty like that.
Back on how. So you had the Gym
So
Republic
you
wanted to see Paul lose.
you got
Yep.
the hardcore boxer. He's in love with the boxing. They hate the Jake Paul situation. It's faked, it's rigged. Boxing is pretty much you go to a boxing event and one side's winning and one side's losing. Okay? So be quiet about that. Number one.
Correct.
And I'm a hardcore boxer. So all you boxers mad at Jake, they use a legend. The legend is very happy right now. That's number one.
20 million smiles.
Yeah, a little bit more. And then you have like the Jake fan that is mad because they probably did fix it. I don't know. Because they really thought they don't even know who Mike Tyson is. And then you got the Jake haters that are like, I hope Tyson beats him because he robbed us with our NFTs.
Well, it's like the Floyd. It's like the Floyd haters. I mean, they just want it. So a lot of people, yeah.
This is the young crowd that we have. Oh, I hope Mike Tyson.
He robbed me with the NFTs.
I bought that fake NFT.
He beat me on the NFT.
Yeah,
I hope he gets his ass
beat
with.
me on that. And I'm like, do you know that Tyson has a rape charge? What? He was in prison. They don't know.
No idea. They have no idea.
So,
bit a man's ear off in the ring. Bit a man's ear off.
Yeah, exactly. So look, forget all of that. Now, think about it as show business.
Absolutely.
Think about it as the most popular actor and the most popular actor doing a movie together for entertainment live on a stage. So you can see live, so you can do the TV, so you can get the content, so you get the impressions, so you can make the money. Be quiet, so you can do the bets. So you can be quiet. That man made money. He put it together. He took advantage of all the flaws and all the
in the game that's already there.
That was lacking, all the stuff that was lacking in boxing and combat sports. He took it. He because he had it. He applied it. And he capitalized.
So people don't understand that, Lo. What we're missing in boxing is not the talent. You got the fighters are there, but the spectacle is gone. The great promoters are gone. The people that made it an entertainment, that made everything something bigger than it was. It was the great promoters of the day that did this. It wasn't just the fighters.
You know who's a great promoter? I'm gonna tell you. HBO.
Oh yeah, 100%. Man, that's how that.
So why do you think?
Grew up with Larry Merchant and Jim Lampley.
Hey, why do you think Floyd Mayweather is still fighting? Why do you think Manny Pacquiao is still fighting? Why do you think Julio Cesar Chavez is still the man? Why do you think why do you think Mike Tyson is still fighting? Why do you think Evander Holyfield is just even known? Like HBO made those guys.
Yes, it did. It could have been any guys. Those were the guys they made.
HBO made those guys. HBO did the 24/7s.
That's right. And that's what they're doing now.
So then you got PBC. Nobody knows who Charlo is. Nobody knows. I love these guys. Caleb, I love Caleb.
The great fighters.
Caleb Plant, I love you. Andre Durrell.
Even for the most part, people don't know who Shakur Stevens is. People don't. Terrence Crawford. People don't even know who Terrence Crawford is.
People don't know who Errol Spence is.
It's crazy. There's so many great fighters. They don't.
$1 million to promote them.
They don't know who the heavyweights are. They only know who three. And mark my words, a couple bums that have been promoted properly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, look, it's just saying like we're in an era where marketing and promotion shouldn't be the excuse.
So my feelings are, if you bet on Tyson and Paul, you crazy. It's an entertainment spectacle. I would rather talk to you about the Serrano-Taylor fight. It was a great fight, a trilogy. She got robbed. Serrano got robbed to me. I was right there with how your
I ain't
guy.
gonna lie, I didn't see the fight.
Well, Sean scored it. Wheelock scored it, and I thought he was right on point. He had her winning by 3 rounds. I mean, great fight.
Yeah. Look,
You got to go watch that fight, man, because there was wow, man, what a fight.
I'm going to tell you what could have happened. Usually, Katie Taylor is a forward-moving girl. She don't fight going backwards. Judges like that.
She was fighting backwards a little bit. She came out rusty, man. The first few rounds, especially, you could see the rust. Yeah. And Serrano was really active. But
listen, usually when the people say that somebody won, that person won.
Right. Well, I mean, but if you got the 90% of the internet saying that Serrano, they thought Serrano won. You know what I'm saying? But hey, great fight. That's the thing, though, man. But the game won. Boxing won as a whole because 100 million people tuned in to watch boxing. Right. You know what I mean? So, and there were great fights underneath. And you, as a promoter, I'm sure you could appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely appreciate that.
So what's next for Global Combat Collective? What's on your horizon? What are your big events that you're looking forward to as we head into the end of the year?
I mean, I think we're going to close out the year. Like we're just going to close out the year and start planning for next year. 2024 was kind of like initiation for a lot of good things to come out this year coming. We were going to plan to do some fights, you know, but I think we just kind of wanted to really buckle down and get a good game plan and probably plan out 3 or 4 fights so we can announce them all and go from there. You know, Global Combat, that was put together, you know, a lot for the Alicia campaign and to just initiate that one fight to let everybody know, hey, you know, female combat sports is a thing, and you know, it's not easy to match 10 fights all female, and we did it. It was exciting. The world got to see it, and look, even in the Jake Paul and Tyson, it was the best fight of the night.
It 100% was, and
so
right along the narrative you were saying, and when I asked you at that fight, I said, man, I've never seen 20 this good of female fighters in one spot, and you said, oh, I know way more great fighters.
I left out. I really could have done 10 more fights. I mean, just because man, as the months go by, I got a list that I can put a bunch of good fights together. Like, it's there. It's just no one's gravitating to it to grab it and put it on TV.
Females been fighting in boxing ever since, you know, from when I was a kid. I watched Christy Martin fight on Mike Tyson undercards, you know, and it was always a sideshow. You know, it was always okay, great. Bare-knuckle made it super exciting for me. To me, it's the funnest way to watch females fight. I've never seen. It's just as fun as the dude fights, and that, I've never said that before. And now female boxing to me is really catching up, man. The athleticism, the ability these women are showing this generation, like that Simon chick, the Marine. I can't wait to see her fight again. You know what I mean? It's just a captive. It's the story, it's the style, very crowd pleasing fight. So I think that is a huge growth area.
It's all I think it all fall in place. It's gonna fall in place little by little. I think it's gonna get appreciated more and more, and we just keep bringing awareness to it and keep doing shows. Just keep proving concept.
So what's next for you? You're going to be in Atlanta on December 6th? Is it December
6th? December 6th, Atlanta, man. And then December 21st.
Back at the Hard Rock, baby.
Back at the Hard Rock. Close out the year. And I'm going to do a small amateur show in Mexico. December 28th, actually. Aguascalientes. I got a really cool and really down-to-earth, man, group of people there that are supporting the Prospect Amateurs, built a gym and promotion, getting. Oh
yeah, I'm gonna be down there. I'm looking forward to that. Can't wait to go. And I understand I'm gonna have dinner with Eva Longoria because she owns a soccer team down there. I done found out. I done did some homework.
It's set up. It's set up. Done deal.
Man, first of all, man, I just want to thank you. First of all, one of the best relationships that I've made in combat sports. Thank you so much, man. It's very important to me. And thank you for taking some time out, man, to talk to us.
Of course,
and I know you're busy. I know you just flew in from LA. I know you got family. Happy birthday to your daughter. I understand your daughter recently had a birthday. Big birthday.
She made me take her on a date on Monday. I said, look, I'm leaving Thursday to a fight. And she was like, what? it's my birthday. I go, I know. I'll be
Yeah.
back. I'll be back, and we'll go on a date. She goes, no, you're taking me on a date Monday or Tuesday before you leave. I said, yes, ma'am. Well, where you going?
Shout out to the princess.
Yeah.
You have a great family, man. Absolutely
Thank you.
fantastic family. So, man,
Thank
thank you very much, man. And hey, anytime you can come on the show, man, we'd love to have you, man. Next time I'm gonna
Man,
make better use of it.
Let's put it on the schedule, man. Let's keep it going monthly.
Absolutely, man. And well, until next time, thank you very much, Lobo, man. I'll holler at you, my brother.
Let's go. Let's get it.
There you have it, man. Nelson Lopez Jr., man, just one of the the seminal figures in combat sports today. Not only in bare knuckle, has been involved with Dave on its super many levels, management, promotion, matchmaking, but in the female boxing, the bare knuckle game, I mean, just involved for years and years, man. And always great to chop up. Just a fantastic human being, too, man. Great for the young fighters in the sport. And just this is why the sport is on really solid footing. This is why you see the growth that we see. It's not just the fans, which the fans make the sport, and the fighters. Is people like Nelson in the background that are really working hard to make the sport grow, man. So thank you very much, man. And we look forward to December 6th, as not only you will see the BKFC there down in Atlanta, but December 6th, you will catch me and Knuckletown at our BYB event there in Miami, Florida. It's going to be an exciting time. And as always, from here at the Global Combat Radio Studios, make sure you're tuning in. We're going to be giving you lots of exclusive looks coming up soon with our Global Combat Radio format, where you've got Global Combat 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. We've got partnerships with all the great dudes that are doing combat sports podcasts. We've got Mike and Mish on board. We've got the youngest in the yacht club. Of course, we've got my man Levi and Ty out there, the weekly bus, and several others already on board. It's just a fantastic outlet. More spots for the fans to come, and combat sports is growing, bare knuckle especially. So anyway, man, you know, as we like to say around here, it's always about the fighters, man. There will be no coliseums without the gladiators, man. So until next time, see y'all, boys.
Welcome to Knuckletown.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can never doubt, not what I'm about, have your cloud, it be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now.
Welcome to Knuckletown.
A slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can, and I'll show you things that you couldn't